Los Angeles, 1947. A city bustling with post-war optimism, where dreams were made and broken. The streets were alive with the hum of new beginnings, but beneath the surface, a dark undercurrent flowed. The city, bathed in post-war sunshine, held a dark secret. A secret that would soon unravel, casting a long shadow over the City of Angels. On January 15th, a gruesome discovery shocked the city awake. The kind of discovery that would haunt the dreams of its residents for years to come. A young woman's body lay sprawled in a vacant lot. It was a sight so horrific that it would be etched into the memories of those who saw it. Her name, we would learn, was Elizabeth Short, a name that would soon be on the lips of every person in America. But the world would come to know her as the Black Dahlia, a moniker that would become synonymous with one of the most infamous unsolved murders in history. This wasn't just another murder, it was a spectacle, a macabre display of cruelty that sent chills down the spines of seasoned detectives. The kind of case that would keep them up at night, haunted by the brutality of what they had seen. The BlackDahlia case remains unsolved to this day, a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface. Despite countless theories and suspects, the truth remains elusive. The brutality of the murder was shocking. It was a level of violence that was almost unimaginable, even to those who had seen the worst of humanity. Elizabeth's body was severed at the waist, completely drained of blood, and posed with almost theatrical precision. It was a scene straight out of a nightmare, a tableau of horror that defied comprehension. Her face was slashed into a grotesque grin, a chilling detail that became synonymous with the case. It was as if the killer wanted to leave a mark, a signature of their cruelty. The press, hungry for a story, latched onto the gruesome details. They sensationalized the murder, turning it into a media circus that captivated the nation. The Black Dahlia wasn't just a victim, she became a media sensation. Her story splashed across newspapers nationwide. The public was both horrified and fascinated, unable to look away from the grisly details. But behind the headlines, a real woman's life was tragically cut short. Elizabeth Short was more than just a victim. She was a daughter, a sister, a friend. Her life, filled with dreams and aspirations, was brutally ended. Who was Elizabeth Short, and what led to her gruesome end? She was a young woman with dreams of Hollywood stardom, a dream that brought her to Los Angeles. But the city of dreams turned into a city of nightmares for Elizabeth. Elizabeth came to Hollywood like many others, hoping to make it big in the movies. She was a beautiful young woman full of hope and ambition. But the glittering lights of Hollywood hid a darker side, one that Elizabeth would tragically encounter. The nightlife of Hollywood was glamorous, but it was also dangerous. Elizabeth found herself navigating a world of broken dreams and shattered promises. It was a world where the line between success and failure was razor thin. The investigation into Elizabeth's murder was extensive. Detectives interviewed countless witnesses, followed numerous leads, and examined every piece of evidence. But despite their best efforts, the case remained unsolved. There were many suspects, each with their own dark secrets, but none of them could be definitively linked to the crime. The mystery of the Black Dahlia's murder remained just that, a mystery. Elizabeth Short was laid to rest, but her story lived on. The Black Dahlia case became a part of Los Angeles law, a haunting reminder of the city's darker side. It was a story that would be told and retold, each time with the hope that one day the truth would finally be revealed. Today, Los Angeles is a city of dreams, but the shadow of the Black Dahlia still lingers. It serves as a reminder that beneath the surface of even the brightest places, darkness can lurk. The case remains a testament to the enduring mystery and the quest for justice that continues to this day. Elizabeth Short, like many young women of her time, was drawn to the allure of Hollywood. The glitz and glamour of the silver screen called to her, promising a life of fame and fortune. Hollywood, with its bright lights and endless possibilities, was a beacon for dreamers from all over the country. Born in 1924, Elizabeth grew up in a time when the film industry was booming. She yearned for stardom, dreaming of gracing the silver screen. From a young age, she was captivated by the magic of movies, spending countless hours watching films and imagining herself as the leading lady. She was a striking beauty, with dark hair, piercing blue eyes, and a captivating smile. Her looks were often compared to those of the famous actresses of her time, and she believed that her beauty would be her ticket to success in Hollywood. Elizabeth moved to Los Angeles, a city brimming with hope and ambition. She arrived with dreams as big as the city itself, ready to take on any challenge that came her way. The bustling streets and towering buildings of Los Angeles were a stark contrast to her small-town upbringing, but she was determined to make it her new home. She worked odd jobs, modeling on the side, always chasing the elusive dream of fame. From waitressing to working in offices, Elizabeth did whatever it took to support herself while she pursued her acting career. She attended auditions and casting calls, hoping for her big break. But life in the City of Angels wasn't all sunshine and stardom. The harsh realities of the entertainment industry soon became apparent. Rejection and disappointment were constant companions, and the glamorous facade of Hollywood began to fade. Elizabeth struggled to make ends meet, her life a whirlwind of temporary addresses and fleeting romances. She moved from one boarding house to another, always searching for stability. Her relationships were often short-lived, as she found it difficult to balance her personal life with her career aspirations. She was known to frequent nightclubs, her beauty attracting attention wherever she went. The nightlife of Los Angeles offered a temporary escape from her struggles, and she often found herself mingling with the city's elite. But behind the glamorous facade, Elizabeth was still a young woman searching for her place in the world. Some described her as a dreamer, a lost soul searching for her place in the world. She had big dreams and a hopeful heart, but the path to success was fraught with obstacles. Despite the challenges, Elizabeth never gave up on her dreams, always believing that her big break was just around the corner. Others saw a darkness in her, a vulnerability that whispered of hidden pain. Beneath her radiant smile, there was a sense of melancholy, a feeling that she was carrying the weight of the world on her shoulders. Her friends and acquaintances often worried about her, sensing that she was struggling more than she let on. Whatever the truth, Elizabeth Short's life was tragically cut short, her dreams turning to dust on a cold January morning. Her untimely death shocked the nation and left a lasting impact on Hollywood. The mystery surrounding her death remains unsolved, but her story continues to captivate and haunt those who hear it. Elizabeth Short, forever known as the Black Dahlia, became a symbol of the dark side of the Hollywood dream. The discovery of Elizabeth Short's body sent shockwaves through Los Angeles and beyond. The press, sensing a sensational story, descended upon the case with a vengeance. Headlines screamed of the Black Dahlia, a nickname coined by reporters, drawing a parallel to the then-popular film noir, The Blue Dahlia. The media frenzy surrounding the case was unprecedented. Newspapers published graphic details of the murder, fueling public fascination and horror in equal measure. The Black Dahlia became a household name, her story a morbid fascination for a nation hungry for news. The intense media scrutiny brought immense pressure to bear on the LAPD. Leads poured in, many of them false or misleading, further complicating the investigation. The public, captivated by the story, offered their own theories, turning Elizabeth Short into a legend, a tragic figure forever frozen in time. But amidst the speculation and sensationalism, the question remained: who was responsible for the brutal murder of the Black Dahlia? The LAPD faced a daunting task in solving the Black Dahlia case. The year was 1947, and Los Angeles was a city grappling with post-war changes, a burgeoning population, and a rising crime rate. The murder of Elizabeth Short, who would become infamously known as the Black Dahlia, shocked the nation and became a symbol of the dark underbelly of Hollywood's glamour. The crime scene, a public and open lot, offered little in the way of usable evidence. It was a desolate area, devoid of any significant landmarks or structures that could provide clues. The body was discovered by a passerby, and the scene quickly became a chaotic hub of police activity and media attention. What they did have was gruesome. A meticulously bisected body, drained of blood and scrubbed clean. The precision of the cuts suggested a level of medical knowledge, leading investigators to consider the possibility that the killer had some surgical training. The body was posed in a manner that seemed to taunt the investigators, adding a macabre element to the already horrifying scene. The killer had clearly gone to great lengths to conceal their crime, leaving behind very few clues. The lack of blood at the scene indicated that the murder had taken place elsewhere, and the body had been transported to the lot. This added another layer of complexity to the investigation, as detectives now had to determine the original crime scene. The lack of physical evidence forced detectives to rely heavily on witness testimony and circumstantial evidence. They canvassed the area, speaking to anyone who might have seen or heard something unusual. The investigation extended to Elizabeth Short's acquaintances, friends, and family, in an attempt to piece together her final days and identify any potential suspects. Hundreds of people were interviewed, from acquaintances of Elizabeth Short to individuals claiming to have information about the crime. The sheer volume of interviews and the variety of leads made it difficult for detectives to separate fact from fiction. Each new piece of information had to be meticulously verified, adding to the already overwhelming workload. The investigation was further hampered by the media frenzy surrounding the case. Reporters swarmed the police station, eager for any new developments. Sensational headlines and speculative articles added to the public's fascination with the case, but also created additional pressure on the investigators. The media's involvement often led to the dissemination of false information, complicating the investigation further. False confessions and misleading tips flooded the police department, diverting resources and creating a tangled web of dead ends. Some individuals sought attention, while others may have had ulterior motives. Each confession had to be thoroughly investigated, consuming valuable time and manpower. The detectives found themselves sifting through a mountain of paperwork, trying to find any credible leads. Despite their best efforts, the LAPD struggled to make headway in the investigation. The complexity of the case, combined with the lack of concrete evidence, made it one of the most challenging cases the department had ever faced. The detectives worked tirelessly, often late into the night, brainstorming and re-evaluating the evidence in hopes of finding a breakthrough. The killer, it seemed, had vanished into thin air, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and a city on edge. The fear and uncertainty gripped Los Angeles as residents wondered if the killer would strike again. The case took on an almost mythical status, with theories and rumors spreading like wildfire. The BlackDahlia case quickly became one of the most infamous unsolved murders in American history. It has inspired countless books, movies, and documentaries, each offering their own theories and interpretations. Despite the passage of time, the case remains a haunting reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of even the most glamorous cities. The mystery of who killed Elizabeth Short continues to captivate and baffle, ensuring that the legend of the BlackDahlia will never be forgotten.